Hello, Hollywood. It's David Poland. It is Monday, March 17th, 2025. This is an episode 190 of David Reads the Trades. Yes, it's David Reads the Trades. I feel 190 today. I am exhausted beyond belief. Didn't sleep much last night. And on top of it, we're changing our bed for the first time in 15 years or so. As you can see, the former bed is there in the living room waiting for somebody to come pick it up because I've hit that age where I feel I'm allowed to not carry a 100-pound bed down a flight of stairs at the cost of my potential life. Um, I'm just not as macho as I used to be, which is okay. So I'm exhausted, so I'm just going to kind of get to it. Of course, I've been leading with the stock market lately, and sure enough, today there's Netflix back up to $962.87. Thanks to Moffett Nathanson's report that came out, setting their projected value of the price at $1,100 a share, which I saw the guy who did it on CNBC this morning, and I've read what he has to say outside of that, and it feels like I don't know what's going on there. They're usually the sanest of companies, of the analysts out there. But I think that it sounds like this guy has just arrived somehow off the boat. He said a lot of things about them. We're talking about them winning the streaming wars again, which of course is ridiculous on the face of it. And the streaming wars, firstly, no wars because there's no definitive winner. There are going to be multiple winners, just as there has been in television forever. The whole thing just irritates the hell out of me. Anyway, he has a lot of cliches. He's one of these guys who's, doing an analytical thing about how many subscribers they've added in the last year without really taking into account that the vast majority of that comes from people who were sign-ups when they cut off people's access to their parents or whomever's connection. But whatever. Netflix is a strong company. Netflix is a great company. Netflix is way overpriced on the internet. I mean, on the stock market. And 1100 is insane. I mean, literally insane. But they will have some evolution in terms of the advertising, and that's going to happen. But again, there was a question about this on CNBC this morning. He seemed to have no idea what the hell they were talking about. He didn't quite get the nuance of separating ad free from the new ad sales idea at Netflix. Both of which are significant, but it's like he listened to every cliche about Netflix that Netflix has put out there, and he's like, "Yeah, they're all right. They're going to be much much bigger." And scene. Anyway, getting to the top of deadline, David Kramer is elevated to UTA CEO to succeed Jeremy Zimmer. There you go. Evolution happens amongst agents. They don't just kill each other. The other news today is that Conan O'Brien will be back to host this Oscars next year, which will be on, of course, March 15th, because it's the stupidest date in the history of the world. They had a marginal growth this year, which of course has been exaggerated in this trade story. And I'm still not convinced that it's completely true. But regardless, still under 20 million viewers. And that's probably not going to change next year. And Conan O'Brien is not the key to it. He was fine. He was just fine. He wasn't bad. He was lovely. He's funny. He's a funny guy. He does funny stuff. Is he a game changer for them? No. He's a placeholder. And that's kind of what you're seeing. Nobody who is in the heat of the battle really wants to take this job. That's been the issue for 15, 20 years already. They're lucky they got Hugh Jackman the one time they did. In any case, so that's all set. And of course, there's an incredibly dumb piece about it by Clayton over at Variety, Clayton Davis, where he just smooches up that Academy took us and says, "I want to love you, and I want you to love me." And there's a good reason for having a March 15th date for the Oscars. It is the stupidest thing. The resistance to moving the Oscars earlier is beyond idiotic. But they're expecting some streamer after this next season to come in and give them as much money, if not more money, than ABC's been giving them, because ABC ain't giving it to them anymore. So that's, they don't care what the numbers are, because streamers don't care what the numbers are. Streamers aren't based on numbers the same way. It's an important event. It is the biggest non-sports event available. So they're sure that somebody's going to taking it and running with it. And so they don't have to do anything except for the same old thing over and over and over again. Because, doing the same thing over and over again is well, it's a sign of insanity, isn't it? Yeah. Um, I wish I could say otherwise. I truly love the Academy and the Academy Awards, the whole thing. I feel like should be an important organization, and I think they've become just log rollers, sadly. In any case, let's see. Is there any other news here? Amazon, for some reason, or MGM, is redoing The Idolmaker again. There are people who love The Idolmaker. Ray Sharkey had a lot of people who loved that movie. And so a lot of people, unfortunately, don't remember who Ray Sharkey was, but he was great in his ways. In any case, they're now got some guy named Sam Wrench who shot the Taylor Swift concert film to redo a remake of The Idolmaker, which makes no sense to me at all. But there you go. I mean, I guess I understand why it's interesting to them, but it doesn't really follow. Lead story in Variety is Conan O'Brien yet again. Todd Kilcrest, who's a smart guy, doing a piece on Final Destination at 25. Okay. Village Roadshow files for bankruptcy. There are people who are celebrating. I gotta give credit to Matt Bellany, because he did write about this a couple weeks ago in some depth, and it's not a new story. Let's not get our in a confusion here. This has been going on with Village Roadshow's been in trouble for a long time now. They used to be very, very, very important. They were founded in 1997, and they've been in trouble for at least 5 years. So, apparently they're down to 11 people in the company. So there you go. So this bankruptcy is kind of was an inevitability. In any case, there you go. So Village Roadshow, another one of those companies. Whoever the money, we used to talk about dumb money more because other countries would show up, and so it would be the Germans' time to throw in the money into Hollywood and lose it all, or the Japanese period, or whatever. And Village Roadshow was Australian, but was a legitimate thing for a while, and then it all kind of fell apart. People excited about White Lotus's sex monologue, I guess, Sam Rockwell gives. Showed up in episode 5. Episode 6 is rather like the morning after. It's got to be the morning after. It is kind of like a hangover, episode 6. But the promise of episode 7 and 8, there's a lot that's going on now. So anything could happen. A lot of things could happen. And I haven't seen them. So there you go. I don't know if they're going to, in years past, they've kind of held out the finale. This year, there's 2 more shows, I think. 2 more episodes that we haven't seen, that I haven't seen. I think 7 and 8. And I hope they'll show them to me early, but maybe not. Maybe I'll just be like a normal human being. I'm so like a normal human being, aren't I? Yeah, of course. Okay, and then let's see what else. Holly Reporter. White Lotus fans react to that incest kiss. Wasn't just a kiss. In any case, Oscar. Oh yeah. Okay, so in the Holly Reporter, they've got a piece right up in the top about Snow White actor response to Disney movie premiere pivot. They're afraid. And then as you scroll down, Snow White first reactions praise remake, a big surprise. Rachel Zegler stuns. So there you go. That's what we're looking at, is that it may turn out that Snow White is a very, very, very good film. There are people who went to this thing on Saturday and feel apparently that it's a very, very good film. So that would be the surprise of the year. It would suggest that Disney, which has been afraid and has been very careful with the movie, has been way too careful, way too cautious, and that there should be some serious momentum building up to this weekend, in which I think the tracking is somewhere around 60, not very high for one of these movies, particularly for a classic like Snow White. And if it's great, also, of course, it will have legs. The other thing is it could open better than expected because it's a family film. So it's hard to tell from my perspective whether they've reached the kiddies fully. But, these movies, they almost always underestimate what the kids' movies are going to do. So this is a movie that could end up having very long legs and be a very significant movie, much to the surprise of many, many, many people, because people have been shit talking it for years now, especially the Hollywood Reporter, which has been spinning even on the same page. They're spinning the whole they're scared of showing it. They're scared of it. They're scared. Well, stop talking about it and let's move on. Okay, let's just move on to the movie's really good. A miracle. David Mitchell. Is this my David? Which David Mitchell is this? I'm looking to see. No, different David Mitchell. Talking about a show they're bringing from the BBC. What else? Is there any actually news in the news section here? Village Roadshow is kind of buried there in the bottom. Yeah, nothing really. So then we go to IndieWire, the best movies and shows of South by Southwest 2025, the Penske Fest. Fascinating. Very important stuff. There was a story over the weekend that Looney Tunes are no longer available on Max, which seems like really, really, really stupid. Can't imagine why. Probably because they weren't watched that much, but still, it is part of the brand that is Warner's, and they should be there. The newer ones have not been as good generally, including the one that came out this weekend. Some people liked it. I'm not saying people didn't like it. I'm just saying that generally they're not on the standard where we were thinking of Chuck Jones and Friz Freleng and all of those guys from Termite Terrace. But it's strange for that not to be there, and you wonder what the cost factor is. Is there a cost factor? So I don't know. There's really no other news here. So that's pretty much everything there is. I wrote last night about the weekend and how horrible it was, because it really was sad, because I was really hoping Novocaine would be surprised, and it wasn't. It was a bad surprise, actually. Negative surprise. And it's not a terrible movie. There are a bunch of the movies that have been good. Somebody was writing about it today and said, great reviews. I'm like, not necessarily great reviews. And the reviews, of course, don't open movies. This is a fallacy from people who write reviews, which I'm one. But we don't really drive the box office. You gotta sell the movie, and I think that's kind of what the missing factor is, and what people tend not to talk about in their pieces about the box office. In any case, if Snow White turns out to be great, I'll be seeing it tomorrow. It's going to be one of the great surprises of the year, and I would love it to be true. I'm a big Mark Webb fan, so that would be nice for everybody. And people can stop shitting on it. Wouldn't that be nice? I am so tired. I've been cursing a lot, I think, because I'm so tired. Or maybe I just like to curse. Maybe I just love cursing. I think I can go take a nap on my new bed while I wait for the guys to come and get the old bed. Have yourself a great Monday. I will be back tomorrow. Hopefully I'll have had some sleep. Oh, God, do I need some sleep? And look, my eyes are so small. They're so cute. And I'll talk to you tomorrow. Thanks for listening.